Something massive just hit the RV world, and almost nobody saw it coming. In November 2025, more than 2 million used RVs were dumped on the market in 1 month. Auctions overflowed. Dealers started hiding inventory. The same factories that built the boom are now shutting down overnight. Interest rates doubled, loans defaulted, and suddenly, the American dream of freedom on the open road turned into a debt trap on wheels. And every auction hammer is setting a new low. Here's how the November 2025 RV crash really happened, and what it means for anyone holding the keys. The night the listings exploded. Dealers did not plan for this. In the first week of November 2025, more than 2 million used RVs hit public listings almost overnight. The sites everyone checks, RV Trader, Facebook Marketplace, and Auction Time, lit up with duplicate VINs, markdown tags, and entire yards suddenly reclassified as aged inventory. Photos showed rows of fifth wheels wearing orange discount banners that looked more like surrender flags than sales events. Prices that once sat above $120,000 now blinked below $90,000. It was not a sale, it was an alarm. Every listing told a quiet story of panic. You could trace the timestamps: a Friday posting at midnight, then a full batch uploaded by dawn. Dealers were moving rigs online faster than they could wash or photograph them. And while they claimed it was seasonal clearance, leaked inventory trackers said otherwise. The same lots that bragged about low stock in summer were now showing triple the units. Overnight, supply flipped from shortage to surplus. So why did this happen now? Who decided to flood the market right before winter storage season, when buyers are at their weakest? The answer hides in a trail of production numbers that never should have existed. To understand this sudden wave, you have to look back to the years when everyone thought the open road was the safest place on earth. The pandemic hangover. Between 2020 and 2022, factories across Indiana, Ohio, and Oregon ran 24 hours a day. Cheap credit and stimulus checks convinced manufacturers to build more metal than the country had campsites for. Each plant measured success by shipments, not sales. The R-vee Industry Association's archives show monthly deliveries peaking near record highs. Dealers celebrated record profits while forgetting one simple truth: the demand was borrowed from the future. The bubble inflated quietly. As long as banks offered 3% loans and lenders turned a blind eye to extended terms, the party continued. Families traded up from travel trailers to Class A coaches they could not truly afford. And factories kept welding. But by late 2024, shipments slowed and storage yards began filling. The cracks started where nobody was looking. The floor plan accounts that dealers use to finance unsold stock. Each unsold rig was a ticking meter, accruing daily interest. When orders stayed high and retail slowed, those balances turned toxic. By fall, the numbers collided. Dealers realized they were sitting on millions in unsold inventory financed at yesterday's cheap rates but renewed at today's expensive ones. The loans that built the boom are now building the collapse. And the collapse accelerated the moment interest rates reset, and monthly payments doubled for the same rigs people bought 2 years ago. If this data already hits close to home, hit that like button and drop a comment with what prices look like where you live. Real stories keep the numbers honest. The rate reset. When buyers signed their papers in 2021, the average RV loan carried an interest rate near 3%. A modest 40-foot travel trailer costing $90,000 meant a monthly note around $600. Fast forward to today, the same balance refinanced at 8% jumps past $1,000. The math alone forces owners to make an impossible choice: pay more, refinance at a loss, or unload the unit before storage fees arrive. Credit unions have tightened their rules. They now refuse to refinance anything older than 5 years or under $50,000 in value. That locks thousands of middle-class owners out of relief. Those who try to sell face buyers armed with cash and patience, waiting for desperation to set new price floors. Even insurance costs have risen, tracking higher replacement values from the last boom. The result is predictable. Repossessions climb, listings multiply, and depreciation accelerates. The math does not lie. When payments rise faster than paychecks, the only lever left is liquidation. And that is exactly what the market is doing right now. When the math stops working, the metal starts moving. But behind every rig pushed online sits a dealer counting interest by the day. staring at one clock that cannot be paused, the floor plan timer, floor plan pressure. Every R-vee on a dealer's lot is financed through a short-term loan called a floor plan. The lender pays the factory. The dealer pays interest until the rig sells. In theory, it is a smooth cycle. In practice, it is a fuse. 90 days after delivery, the loan resets with penalties. After 120 days, lenders demand repayment or begin repossession of inventory. That is why November feels like panic season across Elkhart, Texas and Arizona. The bills have come due. A leaked dealer bulletin dated October 3rd showed half of one major chain's inventory labeled aged, triggering automatic audits from its bank. Another memo warned sales managers to move anything from the 2023 model year before December 1st, or face holdback reductions. These are not rumors. They are receipts of a system. Under stress, drone footage confirms the rest. Storage yards packed edge to edge, new deliveries parked off-site to hide overflow, and quiet emails urging factories to delay next shipment until notice. Dealers know the math. Every unsold coach burns profit in interest charges. When lenders call in balances, desperation replaces strategy. And when dealers run out of time, they start dumping inventory fast. Next, we'll follow what happens after those rigs roll off the lots and into the auctions, where real prices, not stickers, decide who survives. Repos at dawn. It starts before sunrise. The quiet rumble of diesel engines echoes down small-town streets as recovery trucks fan out from Fort Wayne to Des Moines. Each one carries a list of serial numbers. Rigs that missed 2 or more payments. A driver unlocks a gate, backs in, and loads a motorhome that once symbolized freedom. By breakfast, another family's coach is gone, and by the end of the week, that same unit will sit at a regional auction yard under floodlights. Insurance data confirms it is not isolated. National repossessions of recreational vehicles rose more than 40% since midsummer, according to records compiled by Insurance Auto Auctions. Lot managers whisper about backlogs. Some banks now assign repos in batches, hundreds at a time, just to clear delinquency logs. It is not just people missing payments, it is dealerships too. When a floor plan loan expires, lenders seize the unsold stock along with the trade-ins on consignment. Every truckload adds another line to the auction calendar. Dealers know these rigs will come back as competition in just a few days, undercutting every price they have left. Those rigs do not vanish, they flood the auctions. And once they reach the auction lanes, the real numbers begin to rewrite what every R-vee is worth. Auction gravity. Inside a Midwestern wholesale yard, the reality plays out under halogen lights. A Class C model that once sold new for $80,000 barely clears $46,000 at the hammer. A fifth wheel that fetched $60,000 last spring is lucky to break $32,000. Each bid sets a new precedent, and the pattern compounds. Dealers describe it as price gravity, the economic pull that drags every valuation lower. Once oversupply takes hold, it is not opinion, it is arithmetic. Too many rigs, too few bidders, and every seller desperate to beat the next guy out the door. In early November, auction data showed used R-vees clearing at roughly half of book value across multiple regions. Freight costs, storage fees, and transport delays eat what little margin remains. Those who hope to flip inventory are discovering that profit vanished months ago. Wholesale markets move faster than retail listings, so by the time prices update online, the true floor has already dropped again. Even models still sitting on dealer lots are reappraised based on these low hammer prices. Each sale drags the next one lower, and it has not hit bottom yet. But if the auctions are brutal, the next stop is where numbers start lying again. Inside the finance offices. Paper profits. Walk into a dealership today and the banners scream about discounts. $10,000 off, 0% financing, extended warranty bonuses. But when you sit down in the finance cubicle, the math quietly flips. A leaked worksheet from a Midwest chain shows how a supposed $8,000 discount evaporates under market stabilization fees, paint protection plans, and inflated documentation charges. The dealer sells the illusion of savings while stretching the loan term by several years. It keeps the monthly payment low, but the buyer ends up paying thousands more over time. The pressure behind these tactics is simple survival. Every week inventory ages, the dealer pays interest on unsold rigs. To mask the hit, They invent new fee names or push extended service contracts that kick back commission. Some even bundle gap insurance automatically and hope no one notices. It is accounting theater designed to delay a reckoning on the balance sheet. The paperwork may look professional, but the underlying profit is make-believe. These deals do not fix the collapse, they feed it. Even the discounts are debt traps. Step outside that finance office and look at the storage fields from above. You will see why desperation now measures in acres. Overflow from the air. From the sky, the scale of the crisis becomes impossible to ignore. Satellite images from Texas reveal storage yards sprawling into adjacent lots, each filled with hundreds of unregistered units. Every one of those vehicles sits on a floor plan loan accruing daily interest. The 90-day grace window has already closed for many of them, triggering penalty rates and lender inspections. Dealers quietly park units off-site just to hide how deep they are in debt. The aerial view exposes the truth faster than any spreadsheet. You can trace the overflow from factory gates straight to improvised holding grounds behind shopping centers and truck stops. Aerial logs confirm shipments still arriving, even as sales collapse. For lenders, that means more risk. For dealers, more panic. One chain has already suspended new orders until current stock clears. But that only buys time. The production lines that once ran 24 hours a day are now idling. Factories are dimming lights. Elkhart's night shift just went dark. And when those assembly lines slow to silence, the fallout reaches everyone who built, serviced, or traveled in these rigs. The factory slowdown. The sound that once defined Elkhart, Indiana, is fading. For years, the clang of welding and the hiss of air tools ran around the clock. Now the echo comes from empty bays. WARN filings released in late September show layoffs spreading across northern Indiana, southern Michigan, and even into Oregon's smaller R-vee plants. Hundreds of skilled workers, painters, welders, electricians, are being cut loose as assembly lines idle. Local diners that once stayed open through second shift now close before sunset. Parking lots once filled with employee pickups sit half-empty by noon. The slowdown started quietly, buried in trade group language about strategic recalibration. But on the ground, it looks like survival mode. A welder named Eric, 14 years on the line, said it best. "We built too many. Now the orders are gone." Suppliers feel it too. Fiberglass makers cutting production, logistics firms trimming routes, even regional banks freezing credit to smaller dealers. It ripples outward from the same point of failure. Too much inventory, too few real buyers. Production cuts can't erase what's already sitting unsold. And when the factories pause, the next blow lands where the finished rigs were meant to go. The campground's campground crunch. The Great Escape has turned into a quiet squeeze. Campgrounds that once offered refuge from the noise of cities are now charging resort prices for parking spots. Back in 2021, the average nightly fee hovered near $30. This November, most large park chains list sites at $50 to $60 per night, with weekend surcharges pushing even higher. Families who traded mortgages for mobile life now find themselves paying more for fewer amenities. Corporate consolidation plays a big part. Groups like KOA and Sun Outdoors keep buying independent parks, standardizing prices, and cutting maintenance to preserve margins. Hookups break more often, restrooms close earlier, and reservation fees creep upward. Add in higher propane and insurance costs, and the promise of cheap freedom starts to look like another bill. A park owner in Florida said his own expenses rose 40% this year, mostly from property tax hikes and insurance premiums. He passes those costs down to the travelers who have nowhere else to go. Even the escape plan costs double. But while campgrounds tighten and factories stall, the data behind the crash raises its own question. How many rigs really flooded the market in November? If you want more hard-proof breakdowns before the next wave hits, make sure to subscribe now. Every report helps you stay ahead, while everyone else just reacts later, counting the uncountable. Every headline repeats the same claim: 2 million used R-vees dumped on the market in a single month. It sounds impossible until you start tracing the data trails. Aggregated listing counts pulled from major resale sites do show a sudden surge beginning in late October. But the raw numbers include duplicates across multiple platforms. One rig might appear 5 times with different descriptions. Filter those out, and the verified base still lands near 1.5 million active units, roughly double the pre-pandemic average. The scale is real, even if the headline, exaggerates. Satellite images show storage yards in Arizona and Indiana packed bumper to bumper. Dealers keep uploading listings to dodge storage and interest costs. The numbers matter less than the site itself. A nationwide yard sale visible from space, growing every week. And now that the numbers are stripped of rumor, 5 unmistakable warning signs tell you exactly how deep the slide goes. 5 hard signals. Signal 1. Shipments are down. Factory reports for the final quarter show production running at its lowest pace since 2015. Signal 2. Auction bids keep falling, with November averages hitting barely half of book value. Signal 3. Floor plan interest rates have climbed above 8%, turning every unsold rig into a daily liability. Signal 4. Layoffs are accelerating, from factory crews to finance departments, draining local economies built on the R-vee boom. Signal 5. Dealer repricing is now automated. Inventory software updates every 24 hours, dropping numbers faster than managers can print new stickers. These metrics connect into one simple chain. Fewer shipments mean less cash flow. Lower bids crush collateral values. Higher floor plan costs choke credit. Job losses reduce demand even more. And automated markdowns broadcast panic to the entire network. Analysts may dress it up as a correction, but on the street, it feels like freefall. If you spot 3 of these in your zip code, you're next in line for markdowns. The next chapter shifts from watching the collapse to learning how ordinary owners are taking control of what's left and rebuilding their own version of freedom. Owners strike back. When the market stopped listening, people started helping each other. Across the country, groups of R-vee owners are quietly forming repair and storage cooperatives to escape dealership pricing and corporate storage fees. In Arizona, one group turned an abandoned parking lot into a shared maintenance yard where members split the cost of lifts, sealants, and diagnostic tools. They post photos on community pages showing before and after rebuilds done with salvaged parts and collective labor. In Indiana, a small circle of retirees rotate storage space on their farms every few months to dodge rising commercial rates. It is simple, effective, and born from necessity. These cooperatives are growing fast. Online pages like R-vee Repair Co-op USA and Full-Timers Anonymous are filling with posts about pooled resources and open workshops. The goal is not rebellion, it is survival through self-reliance. Each project fixed by its owner is one less invoice padded with dealership markups. Each shared tool reduces dependence on overpriced service departments. In a season defined by repossessions and markdowns, these communities represent quiet defiance. They are not waiting for rescue, they are rebuilding independence. While small groups fix rigs and reclaim control, another form of power is emerging, understanding exactly when to act and when to wait. Timing is a weapon. Markets run on emotion, but the smart players move by the calendar. The R-vee cycle follows a predictable rhythm that never changes no matter how wild the headlines get. From October through January, storage costs rise and travel slows, forcing dealers to discount anything unsold before New Year audits. By March and April, optimism returns, and prices briefly rebound as spring buyers flood the lots. This window defines leverage. Those who understand it can turn patience into money. Dealership records show prices drop up to 15% between mid-November and late January. Wait 3 weeks after each markdown cycle. Dealers panic before floor plan penalties hit. Patience beats luck. Those who wait walk straight into the year's best deals. But timing alone is not enough. When the numbers finally make sense, the real test begins. Making sure the rig in front of you is actually worth the risk. Inspect before you believe. The new reality of this market demands a different kind of inspection. Many of the rigs now flooding listings came from flood zones, repossessions, or long-term storage. Before trusting any sale, start at the roof. Walk every inch, pressing near vents and skylights for soft spots that reveal water intrusion. Look for small bubbles or stains, the kind sellers hide with quick paint jobs. Move to the tires and check the date codes. Anything older than 5 years can fail on the first long haul. Crawl underneath to see if rust spreads along the frame or stabilizers. A clean exterior can still hide a corroded skeleton. Test outlets, slides, and inverters. One bad inverter costs over $2,000. Roof resealing $1,500 more. Check for mold demand maintenance logs, and assume missing records mean repairs ahead. Small issues multiply fast. Spot them now or pay for them later. Once you know what to trust and when to act, the larger story comes full circle. What this crash really changed and what still belongs to the people who live it. Freedom rebuilt. The crash did not end the road, it cleared it. After 2 relentless years of speculation, repossessions, and fear, the people who stayed patient are beginning to shape what comes next. The new version of RV ownership looks smaller, smarter, and tougher. It is no longer about luxury interiors or flashy decals. It is about skill, timing, and control. Owners are trading service invoices for tool sets, trading payment books for repair guides, and turning dependence into competence. Knowledge has replaced financing as the real currency of the open road. The market will recover, but the lesson stays. When hype fades, those who understand depreciation, interest, and leverage win. Factories may quiet, lenders may adjust, yet ownership grows sharper. Stay informed, stay steady, and watch for Bank Freeze Files 2025, because protecting what you earn never goes out of style. The story may pause here, but the movement it exposed continues, proof that freedom, once rebuilt, drives farther than fear ever could. The RV market just changed forever, but knowledge is your best defense. If this breakdown opened your eyes, drop a comment below and tell me what prices look like where you live. Hit the like button if you learned something new, and subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive when the numbers shift again.